What is the dealio, y'all? Listen, in this video, we about to cook, all right? And when I say we about to cook, what I mean is we're about to assemble a watch list, okay? A lot of times I get this question in the Discord and on YouTube. It's just like, how do I know what stock to trade? How do I find the right stock to trade? All right. So we gonna cook. We gonna do this very methodical. All right. We're gonna build out a watch list, and I'm gonna help you figure out what stocks you should trade. All right, or at least give you an idea. So first things first, I want you to think about this like cooking, right? Whenever you're cooking a meal, you got something called a base, right? What is the base? So let's say I want to make a bowl. I'm gonna have a base. Is my base quinoa? Is my base rice? Right? What's my base? Okay. So we gotta have a base. And so your base is your go-to stocks. But first, we need to understand what your account size is. Okay. So, and I look at all these other things as like the seasonings, right? Onions, bell peppers, the seasonings, the salt, pepper, and all that stuff, right? So your base is your go-to stocks. But then you're gonna have your seasonings and other stuff that you want to consider and how you want to add on to your watch list. Okay. So first things first, what is your account size? You don't need to be trading a stock like Meta if you only have $1,000 account size, right? So first off, we got to understand that. So you got to ask yourself, okay, how much do I have? How much am I working with? That's first things first. How much am I working with? Do I got 1,000? Do I got 1,500? Whatever the case may be. And then from there, then we can start building out the watch list, right? And then you want to have maybe like, I say it's like maybe 3 to 5 like go-to stocks. Really, you could say 2 to 3. 2 to 3 go-to stocks that like you're getting very, very, very familiar with on a consistent basis that you trade a lot, all right? Doesn't matter what the stock is, you just need to have a couple go-to stocks, right? I said before, if you treat trading like a business, you'll have a couple stocks that you make the most amount of money with because you know that stock, you know the stock's levels and everything, right? So Robinhood and Palantir are two of my favorite stocks. Last year was Palantir, it became my favorite stock. Right now it's Robinhood. I love trading Robinhood on a consistent basis, right? And also lately it's been Alibaba. I love trading Alibaba too because I'm very familiar with the stock now, right? Now, every other times I sprinkle in a different type of stocks that I've never traded before, but I'm doing it for a certain reason. So your account size, all right? Now let's look at some stocks and some prices, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. So this is the options chain right here. So let's say you have $1,000 to trade with, right? You see how this week's expiration, these stocks are like $1,000, $900, right? So you don't want to trade a stock like this because it's so expensive. That's your whole account, right? You want to have a stock where you could buy a couple contracts or even one, and you can still have buying power left over. All right. So if you have a small account, some of the stocks that are good to trade are Palantir. Their contracts are like 200, $300, right? So that's a good stock to trade. That's one of my go-tos. Robinhood, their stocks are $1, right? $130, $100, right? Those are pretty good prices. Shopify, theirs are $100, $200. Those are good stocks to trade if you have a smaller account. Apple, 200 to 300. That's not bad either. Okay. So you want to look at your account size versus how much money you can invest into that actual stock in that actual option play, right? That's where I would start. How much bread do I have, right? And then how much do these option contracts cost? Don't try to trade a real big stock or an expensive stock if you only got $1,000, $1,500, because the more expensive the stock, the more you can lose. All right, always remember that. So if I'm trading with $1,000 and I get a Meta contract and it's $600 and then I'm down 10%, that's $60, right? But if you get a contract half the price at $300 and you're down 10%, that's only $30, right? So start small and then build up your confidence, okay? Even if you are starting with money, like a good amount, let's say you start with 5K, I would still trade these smaller stocks because you can still make a lot of money, but you can risk less and you can lose less right? As long as you're trading in proportion to your account size. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? Is like, how much do I have to go? Now, the next thing that you want to think about is, am I day trading? Am I scalp trading? Or am I swing trading? All right, this does matter because if you're scalp trading, you're going to need to get in and out of plays fast, right? So if you need to get in and out of plays fast, you don't need to be getting into trades or contracts that have wide spreads, okay? Now, let me show you what I mean when I say wide spreads. This is very, very critical to your success, all right? So let's say I want to get into Airbnb, okay? Their contracts are cheap, but let's look at the price limit. So I want to do a limit order, and my price is, this is a manual input, but what is, it's not showing it on here. What limit order by, so I don't know why it's not showing this right here, but there's a spread right here, right? Where it says limit price. This is manual input, but basically you can do, there's gonna be 3 options right here. This is my desktop. On my phone, I can show you a lot easier, right? So let me go to my phone real quick and I'm gonna show you guys a lot easier, okay? So I'm opening up my Webull right now. All right. So let's say I want to get into SoFi. I'm going to go to options, and then let's say I want to get into the $11 strike price. So under limit price, you click it, and you have bid, mid, and ask. Okay. Now you do not want to trade a stock that the bid and the ask are very far apart, because it's going to be harder to get into those plays. And also, if you do get into the play and you don't know what you're doing, you could get into the play and be down 10, 15% immediately because you got in at the wrong price. All right. So don't trade stocks that have wide bid and asks when you're scalping. If you're swing trading, it could be a little bit different, right? The spread could be a little bit wider, and that may be okay simply because you're okay with the wider cost because you're going to be in the play longer, right? But when I'm scalp trading, I like getting into stocks that have tight spreads because it's going to be easier to get in a trade and get out of the trade. All right. So you want to make sure, okay, am I scalp trading? Am I day trading? Am I swing trading? Am I leap trading? If you're not going to be in a rush to get out of the play, then you may be able to handle a little bit of a wider spread. Okay. There are stocks that have had great setups, but I did not trade them in a day trading because the spread was so wide. Literally, right? So the setup may be good, but if the spreads are horrible, I'm not going to trade it. All right. That's a risk that I'm not willing to take because it's more likely I may lose the money than make the money. Okay. But if the spreads are wide and I plan on being in the trade for a month, 2 months, that's a little bit different, right? Because I won't be in a rush to get out of that trade. Okay. So you want to make sure you know what the spread is and you're not trading stocks with a very wide spread. Okay. So that's the next thing that you want to think about. Scalp trading, day trading, and swing trading. Now, when we're talking about which stocks to choose, all right, first things first, you could do this a couple different ways. What stocks do I know about? Okay, I'm using an iPhone. I'm using an Apple. I know Microsoft is a big company, right? The companies that are inside of the S&P 500. So you could just Google top 10 companies in the S&P 500 or top 10 companies in the world, right? In the stock market. And then you can look at those top 10 companies because you want companies that are being traded daily. You don't want to try to find this random company that's $2 and it ain't got no volume because that ain't going to be a good day trade or a scalp. All right. You want to go where the money is at. All right. And where the volume is at because you could get in and you could get out. So the Mag 7, all right. The Magnificent 7, right? Top 7 big tech stocks, right? That's a way that you could look at it. Stocks that you know and understand. So let's say, for example, for me, I used to sell solar. So when I first started, I liked messing with Enphase. Enphase is like an inverter, right? Because I understand solar, I was like, okay, I may have an edge with if I'm trading in stock, right? Next thing you want to make sure is that that stock moves and that stock has volatility. So that's why you want to go into your trading view, and you want to be able to look and see, does this stock move up and down throughout the week? If the stock is only moving $1 to $2 throughout the week, you don't want to trade that stock because it doesn't have volatility. You want volatility. You want stocks that are volatile because that's how you're going to make your money. All right. So we got, that's how you create your go-to stocks. So I want you to choose 2 to 3 go-to stocks. 2 to 3 go-to stocks. Okay. And then once you have your 2 to 3 go-to stocks and you've gotten familiar with them, then you can start sprinkling in different stocks. And I want your 2 to 3 go-to stocks to be stocks that you can trade based on your account size. Don't just have stuff on your watch list that you can't afford because you're just going to waste your time. All right. And obviously, the bigger you grow your account, the more different types of stocks that you could trade. All right. Another thing that I want you to think about is, does the stock move glitchy? Okay. Sometimes on TradingView, a stock could be like paused and it won't be moving. Out of nowhere, it'll shoot up. Out of nowhere, it'll shoot down. I don't like trading those stocks. I like trading the stocks that are fluid, right? That move. I want to trade a stock where I can see if it's going down or I can see if it's going up. I don't want to trade a stock where it's paused for 10 seconds and then out of nowhere it has a big jump, or it has no. I don't want to trade that. So sometimes you got to go and choose a stock and look how it moves first before you start taking trades. All right. So now let me show you a tool that I use and that could help you find stocks. So let's go here, share my screen. So right here we got FinViz, right? So this is a heat map, right? This is a heat map. So you go to finviz.com. This has a whole bunch of stocks right here, right? These are the top gainers. This is the top losers of the day, right? Now these are a whole bunch of stocks that I have not heard of before, right? But right here, if we go to the heat map, these are the different sectors, right? So look at these sectors. You got tech, you got consumer electronics, you got customer cyclical, you got consumer defense, you got communication services, you got industrials, telecom service, diagnostic, you got credit services, banks, insurance, diversified, semiconductor space, software applications, right? You got financial. So you have so many energy, right? So you have so many different sectors that you can choose from. So what you can do is you can look over here and you can say, okay, what sector do I want to trade with? All right, this sector, may be good, or I like Amazon because I understand Amazon. So I think Amazon is going to be going up. So let me go mess with them, right? Oh, I use Uber, so let me go get into Uber, right? And these are not the only stocks that are traded on the stock market, but these are a lot of them, and these are like the main ones in each sector. Okay, so you could come here and then you want to get a couple stocks that you rock with, and then you just start looking at them, and then you could start saying, okay, I'm going to trade this stock. All right, so you could use that to help out. Now I'm going to show you my watch list, and I'm going to show you a couple things. So what we'll do is we'll go here. Boom. All right. So another thing that you can do is inside of your trading view, you can click right here under stock screener, and every day it's going to show you the biggest like technical rating. You should sell it or you should buy it, right? Strong buy, sell, strong sell, whatever, right? And then at the beginning of your day, you can look at these, and then you can say, okay, I'm going to sell this, or I'm gonna do these on puts, or however you want to do that. All right. Now we put that down. Now, so this is my watch list right here. Okay. So at the top is SPY, because SPY is the big dog, right? SPY is the big company. And then you have all these other stocks. Now, these are the stocks that are up at the top. Those are what I was looking at for the day usually, right? So the top like 10 is what I'm looking at for the day. If I create my levels and I plan on trading that stock, it's going to be up here, right? These are the stocks that are down at the bottom. These are stocks that I may be interested in. I may be looking at, but I'm not really worried about them, right? I probably haven't traded any of these. A lot of these stocks I haven't traded yet, but I'm interested in them and I'm paying attention and I'm doing research on them, or I'm looking at them for a swing or something like that, right? Now we got like VTI. VTI is an index fund, right? I don't really like trading index funds like that, but VTI, it doesn't move super crazy. All right, lately it's been a little bit crazier, but look at this. It's at 273 and it came up to 276, right? I want a stock that's moving a lot more, honestly, maybe like $5 to $7 to $10 a day, because that volatility is where the money is going to be at, right? So so this is my watch list. I don't trade every single stock. I have a couple stocks that I'm looking at throughout the day, and I'll trade the ones up top, right? So the ones up top is usually the stocks that I've made the most money with or that I'm looking at for that day. All right. Now, another thing is, what else I do is every week I look at the earnings calendar. So I'm like, all right, what stocks have earnings this week? So think about it. Every stock, when it has earnings, it gaps up or it gaps down. When that stock gaps up, it has a gap to fill, right? When it gaps down, it has a gap to fill. That stock may fill the gap that day, or if it has positive momentum because it beat earnings, it could keep going up. So I might put a stock on my watch list that had earnings, that had a positive earnings, and I know it's a good company, and ride it to the upside. Or a stock that I know is not the best company, but it beat earnings, it might sell off. So it may go and fill that gap. Okay, we're going to ride it to the downside. So I look at those earnings, but I always have my base. I always have my go-tos. I made a video that said you could trade the same, how to make money over and over again with the same stock. Be sure to go watch that video. That's my most popular video because it's very real. You don't need to have all these stocks. You need to learn the charts. You need to learn how to trade. And when you learn how to trade, you don't really care about 25 stocks, right? It's just about rinsing and repeating. When you look at any successful business, McDonald's, they sell the same hamburgers for the past however many years, and they making crazy amounts of money, right? Burger King, Wendy's, Walmart is selling the same stuff, right? Colgate, right? They selling the same toothpaste. Big business, if you want to be very successful, you got to learn how to do the same thing over and over again. So it's not about finding all these different stocks. You need to find stocks that you're comfortable with, that you know move and have volatility, and then you learn how to read the charts, and then you trade that same stock over and over again, right? But if a stock has earnings, or you see a chart pattern that's very blaring to you, then go ahead, look at the watch list, set your levels, chart it, and then trade that stock. All right, but you want to have your base, your 2 to 3 that you could always rely on, that you know how to trade that stock, and then you want to sprinkle in a couple other ones once you start to have more understanding of the market, the sectors, what's going on in the economy, and all of that stuff. All right, but don't overwhelm yourself. Find 2 to 3 stocks that you rock with, that you like, that you feel good about, and just learn how to trade those 2 to 3. And then you can start adding on as you go by, when you start swing trading and when you start looking at leaps and when you trying to learn and stuff like that. So some stocks that blasted off, I'll put it on my watch list just to go look at the daily time frame or the weekly time frame, and I want to see was a bigger pattern forming that made this stock blast off, or did it just happen? All right. So that's how you want to build out your watch list. That's how I do it, and that's my whole philosophy on it. All right. Always remember, get out of your head and go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. I hope that this video was helpful, no matter what level you're on. And always remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace.